History has witnessed many things: the rise of empires, the flames of revolutions, the footprints of heroes and tyrants. But sometimes a name emerges that doesn't just live on in history books, but in folk tales, horror stories, and mythical legends. That name is Dracula. In reality, his name was Vlad the but history came to know him differently. A ruler who drank blood, a symbol of fear, the son of the dragon, Count Dracula. This name was not just a nickname, but a memory that shook the human soul for centuries. Vlad was born in 1431 in Transylvania, in the harsh and mysterious embrace of the Carpathian Mountains. His father, Vlad II, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a military order under the Holy Roman Empire created to protect Christian Europe and oppose the expansion of the Ottoman Empire. That is why he was given the name Dracul, meaning dragon. His son therefore became Dracula, the son of the dragon. But Vlad's life was destined to face storms far too great for a child. At a young age, he was handed over as a hostage to the Ottoman court, a political tactic of that time. Vlad lived in Istanbul for years as a captive, closely observing the strict rules, cunning politics, and cruelty of the Ottoman rulers. These years of captivity hardened him like iron. In 1456, Vlad ascended to the throne of Wallachia. This region, in present-day southern Romania, was caught between the interests of the Ottomans and European empires. Vlad wanted to protect his people and solidify his rule during this challenging time. But his methods reached an unprecedented level of cruelty in human history. He launched a brutal campaign against chaos and corruption within the state. He aimed to restore justice, but this justice cut like a blade. A peasant caught stealing, a merchant who lied, or a noble who showed the slightest doubt in loyalty, all faced the same fate: impalement. This method, placing a person on a dull wooden stake and letting them die slowly, was not just physical torture. It was a message to his enemies: be afraid, for I know no mercy. It is said that once, near the capital, 20,000 people were impaled at the same time, turning the surroundings into a forest of death. His aim was not merely to punish, it was to rule through fear. The silence in his lands was so eerie that people said, a man could leave a pot of gold on the road and find it untouched upon return. Vlad's cruelty crushed people not only physically, but spiritually as well. European travelers and diplomats wrote that Vlad would sometimes dine among the impaled victims, feasting amid the stench of blood as if celebrating. The most terrifying claim was that he drank the blood of the dead. It is said he would lift a goblet filled with blood, stare into his victims' eyes, and as if drawing in their soul, drink. Whether these stories are true remains unclear, but they played a major role in the transformation of Vlad into the literary vampire Dracula. As a result, Vlad became more than a ruler. He became fear itself for the living and a curse for the dead. His relationship with the Ottoman Empire grew increasingly tense. Once, envoys sent by Sultan Mehmed II refused to remove their headgear in Vlad's presence, a sign of respect in his court, but a violation of their customs. Vlad ordered their turbans to be nailed into their skulls. This enraged the Ottomans, and they sent an army against him. But Vlad turned to another horrifying tactic. When the enemy entered his land, they were met with fields full of thousands of impaled corpses. The sight devastated the morale of the Ottoman commanders, forcing them to retreat. Vlad had defeated his enemies not through battle, but through terror. The 15th century came to an end, and Vlad died, but his name did not. In 1897, Irish writer Bram Stoker published the novel Dracula, marking the beginning of a new era in world literature. The character, a nocturnal, blood-drinking, immortal vampire, was a literary continuation of the terror Vlad had once inspired. Stoker's novel fused Vlad's historical cruelty with fantasy to create a symbol, an eternal symbol of fear. The novel gained worldwide fame, and the Dracula figure inspired dozens of films, series, and cultural works. So who was the real Vlad? A tyrant? A bloodthirsty monster? Or a leader who fought to protect his land, responding to the harshness of his time? In Romania, this question is still debated. Some view him as a hero who resisted the Ottomans. Others see him as a madman who lost his humanity. But between these two perspectives lies a truth. Vlad was neither just a man, nor purely a demon. He was a product of his time, a ruler born from darkness. Time passes, empires fade. But some names, especially those written in fear, live on forever. The name Dracula is still whispered today, because he stands on the edge of myth and reality, a symbol of true fear that once walked the earth.